we can help. If you need to pass the GED exam, we have classes for you. Call the Regional Adult Education Program today at 386-2433. Learning is not just for kids anymore. Blue Devil football is also brought to you by Doc Whitley, Nationwide Insurance, by the Campus Drive-In. Thanks to you, to all the sponsors who help bring us Blue Devil football on Channel 30. Well, Mark, I've rambled on for about 3 minutes. Now it's your time. What's your observations, and what are the keys for the Blue Devils to be able to win this championship?
Well, thank you, Larry. The key, of course, the big factor today, goes without saying, is going to be the weather. It's not a sloppy field yet. There is some water standing in the center of the field, and it looks to get maybe sloppy early. I think the key for the Devils is this. As it has been all year, the Devils' defense has been an outstanding force in their team. It's been the one key. If you could put a finger on the key of success, it's got to be the defense. Today, with the run and shoot offense that the judges run, and for those people that watch any pro football, they're going to see this lineup, and the replay is going to look a lot like, or exactly like, the Houston Oilers run and shoot. The thing is, we got to put a lot of pressure on Partlow early. Got to make some turnovers. I think that's the key to the game, is keeping a lot of pressure on the quarterback. We don't know a lot about it except to do with the run and shoot. There'll be a lot of rollout passing. Right here, Larry, before we get started, as the Devils are making their way toward the field, I'm going to read you the John Handley Judges starting offensive lineup. At wide receiver, 5'8", 145-pound sophomore is Adam Braithwaite. At split end, number 87, the twin brother of the quarterback, Brian Partlow, is Michael Partlow, 6'4", 190-pound senior. At left tackle, 6'1", 210-pound Keith Covert. At left guard, 6'1", 260-pound senior Brian Vidaro. At center, 6 foot, 168-pound senior Kevin McKinley. At right guard, 6'2", 220-pound junior Brian Cavall. At right tackle, 6 foot, 197-pound senior Cliff Knupp. At tight end, number 83, 6'2", 185-pound senior Chris Papa. At wide receiver on the right side, 6 foot, 170-pound senior Danny Westfall. The lone running back in the backfield is number 33, 5'9", 185-pound senior Trey Kern. And, of course, the quarterback is number 13, 6'4", 190-pound senior Brian Partlow.
A very explosive offensive team, Mark. They put a lot of points on the board all year long. They've averaged 41 points, 41.2 points per game. And first time ever I remember seeing at Gate City a lot of royal blue and white balloons that have been turned loose by the cheerleaders. It's a great, almost like a college atmosphere type ball game.
It is a college atmosphere, and even though the weather's been a deterrent today, Larry, as far as keeping some of the crowd away, a good crowd from Handley down here, a great crowd from Gate City, and it's going to be, it is a college type atmosphere.
It is. Mark, for the Blue Devils today, I'm going to feature the defense. The defense, I think, is what, like you alluded to a while ago in your analysis, is what has gotten us to where we are. So today, starting on defense at left end, Lindsey Fisher, 6'1", 165-pound junior. At left tackle, Larry Jackson, 5'11", 155-pound junior. At right tackle, Brian Burke, 6'1", 180-pound senior. At right end, Joel Stacy, 5'11", 190-pound junior. At left outside linebacker, Jake Housewright, 6'2", 175-pound freshman. At left inside linebacker, Matt Johnson, 6'0", 207 senior. At right inside linebacker, Chad Beasley, 6'4", 200-pound sophomore. At right outside linebacker, Benny Wolf, 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. At left cornerback, Matt Clayball, 5'9", 150-pound senior. At right cornerback, Matt Clayball, 6'1", 170-pound senior. At right cornerback should be Hank Clayball. That's 5'9", 150-pound senior. And Joey McBride will be the safety, 5'11", 160-pound senior. I believe, Mark, did John Handley not win the toss and defer to the second half?
They did. Handley decided to want to go on defense first. A little surprise for me. I thought maybe the judges, if they won the toss, would, since the potent part of their game all year has been their offense, that they would take the ball. So apparently they're wanting to try to set the tone of the game by shutting the Devils down right to start with, Larry.
And I believe number 25, which is Nathan Carper, is the place kicker for the John Handley judges from Winchester, Virginia. I believe the judges had to travel somewhere in excess of 350 miles, I believe I read in the paper, to get down here. They've had a long trip to make. I believe they came in day before yesterday, and
they brought a very impressive crowd with them today, too.
They sure did. Back deep for the Blue Devils, standing at about the 7-yard line, are Matt and Hank Clayball. And as we prepare to kick off, Caper stands and the ball spotted at his 40-yard line, and here comes the opening kick to the AA Division III Championship. Matt McClellan receives it at the 6, crosses the 10, the 15, fumbles the football, gets it back, but the judges throw him at about the 7-yard line. So weather conditions on the first play already almost had a bearing right there, Mark.
They sure did, and you're going to look. We can look for this through the whole game, I believe. Larry, it's who can play the ball control, the least turnovers. I look for this to be a more of a ball control type game.
So the Blue Devils in field position start out with bad field position with the ball spotted on their own 7-yard line. They are in a power I formation with Hank, the standing tailback. He slips, gets a handoff, breaks up across the 10, right at the 10. Maybe we'll call it the 11-yard line for a pickup of about 4 on the play. Tackle was made by Jerome Brooks, the right inside linebacker for the judges. So even footing, Mark, on running plays is going to be a problem.
Oh, it's going to be critical. And after the first couple of series in the middle of the field, Larry, it's going to be real sloppy. It's not bad yet, but it's going to be short.
Blue Devils, same formation, power out. Hand off again to Hank Clayball, runs across right tackle and maybe gains a yard and a half on the play.
I believe that's Borden in there, number 71, Dwayne Borden for the judges.
So the ball will be spotted close to the 14-yard line, which will bring up 3rd down and about 5 yards to go. Blue Devils deep in their own end of the field at the 14-yard line. Looks like Handley, Mark, is playing, what, a 4-4 defensive front?
They've been sitting in a 4-4, and they still are.
Blue Devils power I formation, put Hank Clayball in motion. Hand off to the fullback Gibson, and he drives straight up the middle, picks up maybe 2 yards on the play. He's going to be short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th down at about 3, looks like.
Well, the judges shut that down real quick, Larry. The linebacker number 42 in there, Jerome Brooks, made a good stop that time. But the Devils got a little bit of a bad break here and got backed up to start with, so we'll get a chance to look at this potent judges offense.
The punt by McBride gets off a high knuckleball type punt that's going to be fielded at the 42-yard line and dives forward to the 40 of Gate City. So Handley's going to take over with excellent field position as they start their first offensive possession.
And Larry, this Handley team goes with a no-huddle offense, and the only thing that's about going to slow that down is the fact that they got to change balls between every play.
Yeah, with this rain and muddy weather, that will be one thing that slows it down. But this Brian Partlow is supposed to be one of the top quarterbacks in the country that's on all the major college recruiting lists. They go with an unbalanced line right. Hand off to the running back, Kern.
And he's hit in there big, Larry.
As he gets to the line of scrimmage.
Matt Johnson and I believe Joel Stacy.
The linebackers, I believe, Johnson probably keying on Kern. Trey Kern is the only setback that they have and he's gained, I believe, in excess of 1,500 yards for the season. I believe
that's what I read. And Matt Johnson got back in there about the time the ball got to Kern that time, and Joel Stacy was right on his heels.
Now the Blue Devils move their safety up on the line of scrimmage, move a cornerback up, do a lot of shifting here on defense. Give Partlow something to think about. Partlow drops straight back, throws a down and out pass. It's intended for his brother. It's tough, but he's Alabama.
And Larry, that was a real good timing pass that time by Partlow. It just so happened that the other Partlow of that duo was standing out of bounds when he caught the ball.
I guess if we can keep this straight, Mark, we probably ought to call the quarterback Brian and the receiver Michael and just say Brian completes it to Michael, or it's incomplete from Brian to Michael.
Or 13 to 87, or
yeah. But they also have another receiver that Westfall has picked up about 800 yards in receiving yardage.
And Larry, it looked like that Brian Partlow that time audibled at the line, and he's calling his play now.
He's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. The ball's still on the 40-yard line of the Blue Devils. Brian Partlow, the quarterback. Trey Kern, the running back. Partlow drops straight back, throws a screen, middle screen that has blocking out in front. And the Blue Devils get a hand on him, but the receiver, which is the twin brother, Brian Partlow, Michael Partlow, they ran a little middle screen with him, and he picks up, it's going to be short of the 1st down after the spot, looks like, by very short yardage, maybe half a yard. Mark.
Looks like, yeah, maybe a foot or 18 inches.
So on 4th and less than a foot, the John Handley judges will attempt to go for 1st down on 4th down. Blue Devils stay in their 4-man defensive line. Partlow calls an audible here, as he does on every play. Quarterback keeper, and he dives across the 30 down to about the 37, gets plenty yardage for the 1st down.
He did, and it's a good second effort by him, Larry. For a minute there, it looked like they may stop him right there.
Partlow is, kind of like Shoemaker. He's 6'4", pretty good-sized young man, and if he can get just a little push by that center, he's going to be able to pick up a yard every time.
And he was stopped in there that time, of course, by the center of the Devils line, but that was anchored by Brian Burke that time.
1st and 10 on the Blue Devil 38. As the John Handley judges are driving. After their first possession, they picked up, in 4 downs, picked up a 1st down. The ball spotted at the 28. Run a little counter to the back, Kern, and he picks up about 3 yards from the line of scrimmage to up close to the 25 that time, with Lindsey Fisher making the tackle.
Well, Larry, the Devils have got to get a little more penetration and get back there to Partlow. He's getting too much time to throw the ball already, which we suspected. He's not really rolled out like I thought he may.
Taking short drops too. Looks
taking
like,
real short drops.
Looks like on a screen pass.
A 3-step drop, and
the judges split Michael Partlow out wide left, and Westfall is a receiver split out wide right. They run a pitch to the outside to Kern, and he goes out of bounds right at the yard marker. It's going to be awful close to a 1st down if he hasn't already picked it up.
I think they're trying to determine where his foot went out of bounds over there. We've got 3 officials looking at it. He's very close.
And they say 1st and 10, John Handley. The ball will be spotted, it looks like, at about the 18-yard line of the Blue Devils. So the field position game so far has worked to Handley's favor after the Blue Devils got pinned deep on the opening kickoff and only ran three plays and had to punt it away from their own end zone.
Partlow uses a lot of hand signals in his audible, too.
Yeah, he does. Blue Devils shift. Partlow drops straight back. A little 3-step drop, passes down the middle, and almost intercepted by Hank Clayball. Good job of pass defense that time.
It was a real good job. Hank was with him step for step, turned around, and really just kind of dropped the ball as he fell to the ground. It was almost interception in the end zone.
You know, the thing I saw on that play, Hank Clayball watched that receiver's eyes, and he didn't turn around until the receiver turned around to make the catch.
He never lost sight. He never lost contact with the receiver all the way down that time.
Absolutely right. That's the way you got to play pass defense. Now, both the Clayballs are at a size advantage, but now they'll make it up with heart and determination if they have the opportunity. The judges, ball on the 18. Partlow rolls back to his right, throws the ball into the end zone. That is incomplete.
And they're good pass defense, or again, I should say good pass defense that time, covered by Benny Wolf and Clayball. Excuse me, I'm taking it. I'll tell you, my heart may not slow down before halftime, so you folks just have to bear with me here. This is a real exciting time in Gate City for football.
Danny Westfall was the intended receiver that time, ran a little real down and out to the flag that time, and Partlow's, you know, the football doesn't have a real tight spiral on it with these conditions, but he lays it up well. He has receivers that are bigger than our defensive back.
And I think that's what they're going to key on. Their offensive receivers are much taller.
Partlow drops straight back, and we have a flag on the play. But the umpires amended through the flag, which usually means we've got a legal procedure. Let's see what this is called. It is a legal procedure against John Handley, so it will be 3rd down and 15, and that'll move the ball back to about the 23, I believe.
I believe that's right. Well, what I was going to say was their receivers are much taller than our defenders, and they're going to key on that fact. And it looks like Partlow's trying to throw the ball up to where his receivers
can go get it,
can go get the ball and get above our defenders.
So 3rd down and 15 from a Blue Devil 23. The John Handley judges. As Brian Partlow takes his time, calls his play at the line of scrimmage. They have a triple set left this time. They fake a little pass inside. Partlow throws the ball down the middle, and the pass is incomplete. He's short of his intended receiver that time, who was number 22, the wide receiver on the left side, Adam Braithwaite. And did I get that out there, Blue?
Well, I slaughtered it the first time I read it.
Braithwaite.
Partlow just did not make a good pass that time. He way underthrew his receiver that time, Larry.
Well, the Blue Devils got a little pressure that time with Joel Stacy.
They sure did.
And first time they've gotten any pressure into the backfield.
Yeah.
Handley's going to go for 1st down on 4th down. 4th and 15 yards to go. The Blue Devils shift. Partlow drops straight back, throws a little slant across the middle, and the pass is caught, and the spot is going to be real close.
This will be a crucial spot. Larry, that was an excellent catch. I thought the ball hit the ground.
I did too, and I believe from the looks of the chains, he has a 1st down, Mark. From the looks of where they spotted the ball and where the yard marker is, I believe he picked up.
Well, that was just an excellent job that time by Michael Partlow to catch that ball. I thought the ball was going to hit the ground before he could pick it up.
Looked like a ball spotted inside the 8, and the yard marker is just barely inside the 8. So
they're calling for a measurement. I'm not sure he's got it, Larry.
When that official backed up, he backed up short of the chain. So we're going to have a measurement here. When the sideline official backed up to the marker, Mark, he came short of the intended 1st down.
I tell you, Michael Partlow just ran a little slant in that time from his wideout position, and it was a perfectly thrown pass for that situation. I'm sure he'd like to have the ball up a little higher off the ground than what it was, but just a little slant in right there that may have picked up the 1st down for the judges.
The chains are stretched, and it's 1st and 10, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line for the John Handley judges.
A big play right there, Larry. Well, Devils could have shut that down and keep them from 1st down and make a big difference early here.
Right. Could have taken part of the momentum away that Handley's picked up.
Sure have.
And now the Devil defense will be sorely tested here, I would think. 4 downs to get 8 yards by the judges. Trey Kern is the running back, the sole running back in the backfield for the Handley judges. Come this time, looks like with 2 tight ends. They pitched out to the left to Kern, and he struggles inside the 5, right at the 5-yard line, picks up about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, broken up that time by Chad Beasley, Brian Burke, and Matt Johnson in good lateral pursuit that time. Beasley did a good job breaking that up, Larry. He fought through a block and then tripped Kern up.
It will be 2nd and goal from a 5. As Partlow comes up to the line of scrimmage and will call his play here. They have a split end, number 83, and a wing back on the left side. Tight end on the right side. 1 running back. Blue Devils shift their defense. Hand off again to Kern, and he dives into the end zone. Touchdown for the John Handley judges.
And good hole that time over the left side of the judges' line. And Kern really didn't have much trouble getting that into the end zone, Larry.
No, he didn't. They spread you out, Mark. With that offense, it spread your defense out all over the field, and it's hard to bunch your linebackers up in the middle there where you might be able to stop that penetration.
That really is.
The kicker for the extra point will be Nathan Carper, number 25. And he stands directly in the middle of the biggest part of the murk on the field right here.
He's knee-deep in mud at this point.
The snap is a low snap, a bad snap, and the holder rolls out to his right. He almost can get to the corner.
Oh,
and he should be beyond the line of scrimmage, I believe.
That's right. I believe he is.
No penalty on the play, but the pass is incomplete. I believe I do see a flag land over there now.
I believe he was past the line of scrimmage on that.
I believe he could just about made it, Mark.
I thought he was going to run it in.
Lowered his head and run it in, didn't he?
I thought he was going to run it in. It was the ball was on the ground all the way back there, and I'm sure it was real muddy. I don't know how he could have threw the ball anyway.
No, I don't either.
But he had nobody in. He didn't have a receiver in the pattern out there. Finally, somebody came clear in the corner of the end zone back there, but he was way past the line. So.
Now, the Gate City captains here will get an option on this. Hopefully, the penalty to help the Blue Devils out should be penalized on the kickoff, and maybe will help the Blue Devils field position. So far, the Blue Devils are not only behind on the scoreboard, but in the two possessions, one by each team, they've come out far the worst of field position wise.
Man, I tell you, the judges did a good job of taking some time off the clock on that.
They did. They mixed it up pretty good.
They mixed it up pretty good. They went with more running plays than I really expect them to go with.
They do not penalize here. The penalty, I suppose, would have been if Gate City had taken the penalty, they would have gone for the extra point again. Would have backed them up and gone for it again. So the ball will be kicked off, spotted at the 40-yard line, and kicked off again by Carper and Hank Clayball, Matt Clayball, their deep backs for the Blue Devils. So with 5:20 to go, John Handley leads the Blue Devils 6-0. There's a knuckleball kick that Matt Clayball was unable to field, picks it up at his 5, up to the 10, the 15, and steps out of bounds at about the 18.5-yard line. So a little bit better field position this time for the Blue Devils.
A little better. We've got to do a little better job of fielding that kickoff, though, Larry. Of course, the first time Matt looked like he fielded it cleanly, and then the ball just popped loose, and it was lucky, I guess, to get the ball back.
Yeah, I think maybe a Handley tackler on that play got an arm in there and may have stripped that away from him.
May have.
Blue Devils here will go full house backfield. And Handley has looks like about an 8-man line here, Mark. Put the left halfback, Hank Clayball, in motion, handoff to Gibson. He gets a hold, and the fumble, ball's up in the air, and Handley recovers the football. So Handley's going to take over, it looks like, on the Blue Devil 20-yard line.
And Larry, that's exactly what the Devils didn't need. Sure-handed Kevin Gibson, who's not had very many fumbles all year, just got hit. The ball just popped straight up, bounced out of Matt Clayball's hands, and I believe back into the hands of, I'm not sure who that was for Handley, number 54 maybe.
I believe it was. I believe it was an interior lineman, an interior defensive or linebacker.
I'll call him Viperman. I'm not sure that's right. Andy Viperman maybe.
So Handley is up in the turnover category by picking up a fumble on the play. Partlow throws the ball over the middle. That was a good pass intended for his brother, Danny Partlow, Michael Partlow, and he just dropped the football.
He did. It was right in his hands, and after the catch off the ground a while ago, I'm sure that
one should have been much easier.
Oh, should have been. Maybe it's too easy for him.
I tell you, their pass patterns are a well-schooled, well-coached team. It looks like that play was wide open all the way.
The receivers break their routes off. They make their cuts crisp, and that's what makes for a good pass pattern is when you make your cuts at the crucial moment, make them crisp and make them true.
2nd down and 10 from the Blue Devil 20-yard line. Ryan Partlow calls the play. Fake a handoff this time to the running back. Partlow keeps it on the keeper and gets up inside the 15, down close to about the 12-yard line. It's going to be a couple yards short of the first down, but a good play again that time by Partlow, who has rushed for 10 touchdowns, as we alluded to in our introduction.
And that was a real good fake that time in there to Kern. He made an excellent fake. He stuck an empty hand in there. The two Devils went for the fake, and it left the left end just wide open for Brian Partlow that time, Larry.
You know, in talking to Coach Calabro, he says this is a real explosive offense. They get on the board early, put a lot of points on the board, and so far today, things kind of look like they might take that same path. Single running back, Trey Kern. Partlow rolls out to his right, throws a pass in, a little slant pass down close to the goal line, and Michael Partlow makes the reception for a touchdown. The same play that they ran a while ago that Michael Partlow dropped the football.
It was, and it's the same play that they ran a while ago to pick up the big fourth down on fourth down to make a first down. Just a little slant in pattern. It's not really anything. It's spectacular. It's just a little slant in and good timing. A good timing between your receiver and your quarterback.
And it puts the cornerback on. They spread the field out so much it puts cornerbacks in one-on-one coverage.
It does, and it's hard to get pressure on that type of pass too. I mean, he's taking a short drop back, and he's just, you know, they're on the same wavelength. There's no doubt about that.
You're absolutely right. Handley's going to go for 2 here. Partlow rolls to his left on the option, keeps, and he stops short of the goal line. Looks like a tackle's made by Matt Johnson and Joel Stacy that time.
Maybe Larry Jackson in there. Chad Beasley, I think, did a good job to read that and take him out of the play on that.
So with 4:42 to go in the first quarter, the John Handley Judges lead the Gate City Blue Devils 12-0 in the Group AA Division III State Championship game.
And Larry, I see Brian Partlow being assisted over here on the sideline holding his shoulder. As he comes off the field right here in front of us here.
His right shoulder too, isn't it? That's his throwing arm.
I'm not sure. The way he's been over there, I can't tell. They've got him. He's been over like he's in some pain. May have just got a cleat on the hand. But
well, I noticed, Mark, on the option play that they ran down there when he kept it, he lowered his shoulder and ran over the defensive back to try to pick up some extra yardage.
They're going to work on his shoulder. He seems to be, and it is his right shoulder, I believe, from where the trainer's working on.
Yeah. He may have gotten also hurt on that play there because when they came up out of the attempt for 2, Matt Johnson had the football. Here's the kickoff again. This time, Matt Clayball fields it at his 8-yard line, gets good blocking.
Good blocking right there.
And a face mask tackle that time by Handley at the 25-yard line.
And Larry, he almost just snapped his head completely off his shoulders with that tackle. I'm not sure. I first thought he just caught him from behind and jerked him backwards, but I believe he caught his head and caught his face mask.
It is a personal foul, face mask.
And that's a big penalty right there.
You know, Mark, if he got by that man, he had open field.
He did, and he got a real good block that time, and I thought he was going to get some room on the corner. That boy, I'm not sure who that was for Handley, but he did a real good job just to get a hand on him.
I thought it was 42, Jerome Brooks.
That's who I thought it was 42.
So after the step off on the penalty, the Blue Devils will finally get outside of their shadow of their own goal line. The ball will be spotted on the 41. Blue Devils with a full house backfield. 2 tight ends. Handley brings their linebackers up. Shoemaker fakes a handoff, rolls, throws the ball. Almost intended for Matt McClellan, and defensive back almost picked it off.
He did. I think that was number 42, Brooks again, and got a hand on that ball.
First pass attempt by the Blue Devils. Shoemaker rolled, faked the handoff, rolled back to his left, had 2 men out in the pattern. One of Clayball twins coming out of the backfield, and McClellan tried to go to McClellan, the deep receiver, and Handley had it covered pretty good, I thought.
They had it covered well. I thought that he was going to pass that off underneath to Clayball there, but they still had that defended real well.
Yeah, they did. Shoemaker full house backfield. Pitch outside to Matt Clayball, and he only gets back to the line of scrimmage. We got these Matts confused here early, Mark.
Well, we've got the Clayballs confused, the Matts confused, the Partlows confused. I tell you, it's just such an exciting game, and it's so exciting to have it here in Gate City. And you know, it's been hard. It's been hard for me to stay.
It's been hard to come down to earth to be able to do this.
It is. It really has. And they got a good lateral pursuit that time by the left half of the Handley defense that time, Larry.
Blue Devils this time in a power-I formation with Hank Clayball was standing tailback. They hand off on a straight up the middle carry by Hank Clayball, and he breaks it across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's going to be 3.5, 4 yards short of a first down was to make it 4th down and about 4 yards to go. Closer to 5 almost.
Well, Larry, and the rain's coming down again pretty hard, and the center of this field is just absolute swamp right now.
Yeah, it would be hard to find any field today that wasn't artificial turf.
Well,
Partlow, Michael Partlow is one of the deep receivers, and along with number 81 is Westfall for.
Got an official's timeout here. I think I don't know if they're checking some equipment on Matt Johnson. I'm not sure. Anyway, he's chopped the clock now.
Lindsey Fisher, the deep snapper. Shoemaker calls the signals from the up back. Good snap. McBride gets off a high punt, not very deep. Gets a good Gate City roll inside the and out of bounds inside the 25 of Handley. It's going to be spotted, we'll call it the 21-yard line of John Handley.
But far and away the worst field position that the judges have had today, Larry.
But the judges have been able to take advantage of field position and put 2 touchdowns on the board early on here in the first quarter. And as we said a while ago, lead the Blue Devils 12-0 with 2:49 to go in the first quarter.
What it looks like, Larry, right now is we're going to have to take the underneath away from them. They're taking those little underneath passes on the slant ends and the quick pass route. If we can find a way to shut that down and force them to do something else.
Blue Devils do a lot of shifting, and the handoff is to Kern, and he breaks into the open up close to the 28-yard line. So a good gain on the play. Looks like about a pickup of, about 5, 6 yards on the play, 7 yards on the play.
Looks like they're going to give him a good 6 anyway.
Yeah, what the scoreboard says, 2nd down 4. We'll call it a pickup of 6 on the play. Ball spotted at the 28-yard line. 2nd down and 3 yards to go. Brian Partlow, the quarterback, hands off again to Kern. He breaks a couple of tackles, breaks into the open field almost up close his own 40-yard line, and has more than enough yardage for a first down.
And Larry, it looks like the judges have got just a well-balanced attack right now. They're doing it in the air. They're doing it on the ground. They're getting some penetration from their offensive people against our left side right now, the left side of our defensive line.
Their offensive line, Mark, looks to me to be in super shape. They all look like they're about 6'1", 6'2", and somewhere between 210 and 235, I would think, maybe even bigger than that. Quarterback rolls back to his right, throws a pass downfield that is incomplete on the sideline, intended for Westfall. That time, Brian Partlow rolled to his right, and he had him open, I believe, Mark.
He had him open. He just overthrew him, yeah. He overthrew him on that right there. And that's more of what I expected to see him do. But of course, the field conditions may dictate more to a drop-back type pass. I was expecting already to see a little more rollout in this run and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But
this offense puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense. Gate City's had to redo their defensive schemes this week, I'm sure, to try to combat something that would work here or combat their offense, rather. We have a timeout again here. As looks like Housewright's wiping. Is that Housewright wiping mud out of his eyes? Yeah, I thought maybe the officials were going to.
I thought maybe he had some blood on him.
I did too.
But the official loaned him his sleeve to wipe the mud out of him. That's pretty congenial by an official.
I could understand how he could have mud in his eyes.
I sure can.
Brian Partlow, the quarterback for the John Handley Judges. Drops straight back, throws a pass out into the flat, and it's incomplete. The pass was intended again for his brother Michael Partlow. And you know, Mark, if you and I were keeping stats, which we aren't, but Michael Partlow only needed 3 receptions coming into this game to set another Virginia High School League record. I know he's caught 2.
I believe he's caught 3
and
already.
It may have already tied or set that record. So we'll when we get those stats at halftime, we may be able to pick that out of the stats. I'm not sure. 3rd down and 10. The ball spotted on the Judges' 40-yard line. Blue Devil defense is spread out all over the field.
Into a 3-man front now.
Partlow drops back, throws that little middle screen
broken
again.
Up nicely that time.
Beasley break that up that time?
Chad Beasley got a hand in there, and he read that middle screen just perfect that time and almost come up with an interception.
He said, fool me once, but not fool me twice.
There you go. And that was a real good play, but Chad Beasley just got a hand in there on the ball and knocked it out of the receiver's hand.
So the Blue Devils that time, I believe, smelled that play from a word go, especially Chad Beasley, because he got such good penetration. So the judges will have to punt for the first time, and guess what? Michael Partlow does the punting, the receiver. A high snap, but he gets it down. The Blue Devils come with good pressure, and I believe deflected the football. However, there's a penalty on the play.
Well, Larry, I believe we're going to get a roughing the kicker penalty on maybe Brian Burke that time, and I'm not sure that's. It looked to me like that they were up in the air after the ball, and I thought he got a partial hand on it.
Well, if our defense didn't get a hand on it, it came off his foot real funny. He really didn't hit it.
And you and I watched him warm up before the game. He never really hit a bad punt before the game.
No, he did. But he could have rushed that because of the pressure coming up. So that's, chances are that's probably going to give him an automatic first down here.
It will, I think. And the Devils got good penetration that time, and I thought we got a hand on the ball, but.
Well, I thought at the actual time, I didn't really see how he could get it off. We had 4 men almost standing directly in front of him. Of course, it's kind of hard to slow your momentum down with the field conditions the way they are here. If you don't get the football, you got a good chance of hitting it.
Sure is, and that's another break for the judges, Larry.
Well, you'd figure a judge would always get a break, right?
You would think. If a judge can't get a break, who can get one?
If a judge can't get a break, he'll make one. So after the penalty, spots the ball across midfield into Blue Devil territory at the Blue Devil 46-yard line. 1:25 to go, first quarter. The Blue Devils trail the John Handley Judges 12-0. Partlow drops back, throws a fly pattern intended for his receiver, and it's intercepted by Matt Clayball with a little blocking out
got
front.
Some running room.
So a good play that time. The Blue Devils get their first turnover. I thought that pass was poorly thrown.
That was a very poorly thrown pass. He never had a receiver. Matt Clayball almost went back and fielded it like it was a pop fly ball.
He did. That pass laid up in the air, and if it was a fly pattern,
I think it was supposed to be maybe a fly pattern. I think it was really supposed to be maybe a little timing pattern, and his receiver wasn't where he was supposed to be at the time.
Well, you're probably right. But Matt Clayball played it exceptionally well.
He did. He kept his eye on the ball when he saw the ball was going to be long. He kept his eye on it and made a great reception, or interception, I should say.
The Blue Devils in dire need of putting some points on the scoreboard to get some momentum back here.
Yeah, right now, I was just looking there a second ago. Right now, the judges have pretty much taken the Gate City crowd out of the game too, and that's we need a big break right here, a good drive, and some kind of points to put our crowd back in the game.
After the interception, the ball spotted on the 37. Gate City full house backfield. Shoemaker handoff to Gibson, running left across left guard, left tackle. Good gain on the play. Picks up maybe 8 yards on the play, 7 to 8 yards on the play. The best running play that the Blue Devils have had so far.
It is. There was a good hole in there that time over our tackling in, and Brooks made a good move from his linebacker spot to get out there and get Gibson when he did.
We've got less than 23 seconds to go. First quarter, Blue Devils again. Full house backfield. Second down and about 3. Shoemaker with a long count. Hands off, fakes the handoff to the right halfback. Hands off to Gibson on a little counter. Gets up close to the first down marker, but looks like he's going to be about a yard short.
I believe he will be about a yard short this time. And I'll tell you, Larry, that's the end of the first quarter. And really a slow quarter. We've been 30 minutes playing the first quarter.
Well, when you got a football team that throws the football as much as they do, if you have a lot of incompletions, why you're going to have a slow ball game. Gate City Blue Devil football on STE Cablevision Channel 30 is brought to you by King Ford in Gate City, where you'll find the best prices on quality Ford cars and trucks. By Roberts Tire and Recapping. Fall is a great time for new tires from Roberts like Firestone and Michelin. By Magnolia Place, the place where you'll find the perfect Christmas gift on East Jackson Street in Gate City. By Weber City Drug Center, great prescription service, also featuring UPS and fax for your convenience. By Nations Bank, with a new ATM at the Weber City office and great deals on private lines of credit throughout Scott County. And by State Line Graphics, offering the best service for your printing needs, located in Weber City. We're also brought to you by the Regional Adult Education Program. You may be listening to the game today and remembering back to when you were in school. Those were the good old days. Many adults in our county left school before graduating, and the Scott County Public Service System has free classes to help adults improve their basic skills by Doc Whitley Nationwide Insurance and by the Campus Drive-In. And as we start the action back at the start of the second quarter, Shoemaker on a keeper, and looks like he may be short of the first down.
He may have. He slipped a little bit. He slipped a little bit on the when he started there, Larry. We didn't get a good penetration off the ball from our center that time, just because of the footing. We're in one of the sloppiest parts of the field right now. Water standing ankle deep right there. I noticed on one of the Judge's players out there, he was standing ankle deep in water that time in his defensive position. So it's getting real sloppy.
Well, the Blue Devils, if they are a short year, will have first big coaching decision for Coach Colorado to make, but they don't need to worry about it. It's 1st and 10 Blue Devils at the 40, we're going to call it the 47-yard line of Gate City.
It's kind of hard to call it
anything.
The hash marks
are gone, aren't they, Mark?
It's hard to call it anything right now, except he's crossed the 45 and maybe out of that muddy spot.
He's not all the way to the 50, but he's crossed the 45. Blue Devils again with Power Eye, this time with Gibson, the standing tailback. Hand off to Gibson. Good blocking up front. Good drive that time by the offensive line. Good on the right side. Beasley, Becker, Jason Kilgore.
And good hard running that time by Gibson.
And Gibson picked up, looks like about 7 yards on that play. So should be 2nd down and 3. The ball spotted just short of the 45-yard line of the John Handley Judges.
And Larry, it's important that we come out of this drive. It's important we make a drive here and come away with something, even if it's just 3 points. We need to come away from something with this drive.
I agree. Blue Devils unbalanced line right. Shoemaker, handoff again to Gibson. Running room, breaks tackle after tackle, gets inside the 40 down to the 35 of Handley.
And Kevin very near broke that. Stumbled a little bit. If he could have held his footing there, I believe he had some room to cut back outside that time to his right.
You know, Mark, once we got out of the shadow of our own goal line and have started running straight at this Handley defense, we're making some pretty good holes on these last running plays.
The offensive line right now is doing a good job. They're opening up some holes in there, and Kevin doing a good job running the ball.
Power eye formation set left. Hand off again to Gibson, and this time a good tackle is made by
Brooks. I believe that's Jerome Brooks. I believe he blitzed that time and caught Gibson in the backfield.
And there's only a pickup of, we'll call it 1 yard on the play. So make it 2nd down and 9. You know, Mark, you're an old football player. Know a lot more about this game than I do, as we say each week. But there are run blitzes and there are pass blitzes. Is that not right?
Well, yeah, and, you know, we've, and I say we, the Devils right now have got to control this line of scrimmage, and our offensive line is doing a good job getting off the ball.
Full house again with Lindsey Fisher into the backfield in motion. Handoff this time to Gibson with 2 blockers out of the backfield in front of him, House Wright and Lindsey Fisher, and runs the ball off. Right tackle picks up, maybe 3 yards on the play. He's going to bring up 3rd down and right at 5 yards to go. Long 5, we'll call it 6. Ball spotted just short of the 30-yard line of the John Handley Judges. That's a mouthful, you know.
It is, John Handley Judges. I tell you what, there's a field full of them too. They brought a healthy-looking crew with them, didn't they?
They did. This is we have another official's timeout here on the field. John Handley did bring quite a few people with them.
They did, and they're a very impressive. They're a very impressive bunch when they roll into town and on the field too.
They are. They're a good-looking football team, but you would expect anybody that is in a championship game. You got 2 good football teams out there right now. Hank Clayball goes in motion. Handoff, fake to Gibson. Have Clayball open, and he's going to be close to 1st down, depending on the effort. The yard marker is right on the 25-yard line. First and 10, Blue Devils.
Good pass that time, a good safe pass out in the flat to Hank. was wide open. Shoemaker did a good job, just laid the ball right in there to him, and there's two defenders right there on with Hank, but it's a well-thrown pass.
Pretty safe pass. Play we've run all year, isn't it?
It is. And it's worked well for the Devils all year, too.
It has. It has. So Blue Devils, 1st and 10 from John Handley, 25, as they trail in the ball game 12-0. 8:40 to go, second quarter. Handley brings their linebackers up tight, show blitz, and they do blitz. Shoemaker on the option, pitches out to Gibson, and he picks up about 3 yards on the play before he's knocked out of bounds.
And a good job that time by Shoe just to get rid of the ball. It was clogged up in there, made a good pitch out to Kevin.
Low pitch. Gibson made a good reception of the pitch,
really did.
too. Yeah, Handley looks like they've decided that they're going to try to put some pressure on the Blue Devil quarterback.
Well, I think it's getting back to what you said a while ago. There's pass blitzes and there's run blitzes, and right now they know we're in a run-oriented mode, and they know that they're going to be sending everybody they can up tight.
Power I formation with Gibson the standing tailback. Here come those linebackers up tight again. Hand off to Gibson, and he struggles for about 4 yards. Looks like he's going to be short of the first down, but maybe not by a whole lot. Maybe 2 yards short.
Maybe a couple, I believe. We'll call it. It looks like a long one or short two. But now this is basic Gate City football. This is fundamental Blue Devil football. 3 and 4 yards, and obviously no cloud of dust today.
Well, that's true. You get dust here today. You carried it. It's got to be brick dust or something.
You get dust today, you carried it with you.
Yeah, the Blue Devils for the last 3 or 4 plays have had Housewright and Fisher in the backfield and Gibson the standing tailback. A little bit more weight and size out front. Hand off to Gibson. He struggles across the 15 and has picked up a first down, I'm sure. Looks like the ball will be spotted inside the 15 at about the 14-yard line. It's 1st and 10 Blue Devils.
Larry, I'm sure the judges right here, from watching their coaching staff, a little bit don't really know what's going on yet. They've not comprehended what the Devils are doing now that we couldn't do a while ago in moving their people off the ball.
Well, Kevin Gibson, I see, has just gone to the sideline, and Hank Playball's reported in. He'll be running at the tailback spot. And the Blue Devils do call timeout because it didn't look like they had the play down exactly right.
I think they were a little confused with the personnel they had in there that time, Larry.
Maybe right, Mark. They have, we've been talking about Fisher and Housewright moving into the backfield, and it's something we've done for the last 2 or 3 weeks. But this is a different set than we've run out of it.
It is, and Gibson went out of the game, and I think when Shoemaker turned around, he wasn't sure that he wanted Gibson out of the game from what it looked like, but maybe he was a little confused as to the personnel he had back there and the play he was supposed to be running. So he very wisely calls the timeout to avoid a penalty and delay a game.
Yeah, the Blue Devils, definitely need to take advantage of this opportunity and be able to put some points on the scoreboard here since they trail in the ball game.
Well, and that's a position that the Devils have found themselves in many times this year, is behind, and by more than 12 at times, and which says a lot for the heart of this team. They've come back and won from being behind, so we can put some points on the board right here, hold them, and we're in good shape.
Gibson has checked back into the lineup, and he is at the tailback spot. So you've got 2 blockers in there. If you're going to hand this ball off, you know it's going to be to Gibson. Neither one of these other people carried the football all year. Unbalanced line right. Handoff is to Gibson, and he cuts left, breaks a tackle, breaks inside the 5, right at the 5-yard line. Good play that time. Good running by Kevin Gibson.
Good, and a big hole that time. He ran. I'm not sure who it was he ran into, but he ran into one of our offensive linemen. I'm not sure. It may have been Andy Smith, but a real good hole that time over the left side of our offensive line.
Pick up on the play that time of 8 yards. The ball will be spotted just short of the 5-yard line. John Handley's 5. It's going to be 2nd down and 2. And the Blue Devils here seem to be moving the ball pretty good, Mark. Kept it on the ground except for one pass play, I believe, in this series.
Wes Ford's checked back into the game at left end.
Same formation, power I with Gibson the standing tailback. Handoff this time to Gibson, running across the 5, running hard down close to the goal line. Looks like he's going to be stopped short of the one-yard line, stopped short of the goal line, but he has picked up a first down.
First down, and that gives us 4 downs right here to work with, Larry, and a real good drive this time by the Devils. They are they're executing the way they need to execute to win this ball game right now.
Yeah, they just running basic power football and basic straight up the middle, over top of tackle, tackle guard in the center, and it'll be first and goal short of the goal line. We'll call it on the 1 foot line.
I think right now our offensive line is just whipping their defense.
We've got Lindsey Fisher this time at the tailback spot. Gibson has moved up to the one of the utbacks, and Shoemaker dives on the keeper into the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Devils.
And that'll put the crowd back in the game real quick now, Larry. And it's certainly quieting this Handley bunch down, as you would assume it would.
Well, I'll tell you, Mark, on that play, that quarterback keeper, the Blue Devil offensive line pushed the defensive line 2 yards deep into the end zone.
They had at least a good, I mean, Shoe could have stood straight up and walked in. And
so very important extra point here, attempt by Matt McClellan.
In a very bad part of the field.
Yeah, Lindsey Fisher, the snapper. The ball's a good snap. The kick's down, the kick's up, and the kick is good. So the Blue Devils get on the scoreboard with 6:09 to go in the second quarter, as John Handley now leads in the game 12-7.
And a big momentum swing right here, Larry. Even after, and the Devils defense did a real good job that time by overcoming adversity of the penalty on the block and or roughing the kicker.
They did. They did.
Then the offense, real impressed that time with the way our offensive line just sort of blew their defense off the ball.
Yeah, I think, I believe some of the coaching staff on our sidelines may have challenged our offensive line over there and said, you know, we're going to drive the ball right down their throats. It's your job. We're going to win with you or we're going to lose with you.
Well, I think so. And like I say, some confusion that time by the judges. Their coaches over here, I'm sure, couldn't figure out why all of a sudden we were moving the ball on them.
We have a different deep back this time on the kickoff. Oh, we haven't seen a kickoff yet, so I guess that's the reason. I believe that's number 20, Mark.
It'll be different from us, I'm sure.
That's Stephen Johnson, if we can read the number. That's number 20, I believe, on there.
And I tell you, the only numbers that I'm really able to read real good is number 70 out here and number 45, and they're new checking into their special teams on their kickoff receiving team.
Only 2 white jerseys on the field.
Only 2 white jerseys. If we lose these numbers, I mean, they're just mud covered. You can't see the front of them hardly at all right now.
That's true. Matt McClellan prepares to kick off from the 40. And he hits it high and kind of short. It's going to be fielded at the 15 by 42. And he breaks the tackle. If he hadn't lost his footing, which is pretty hard not to do on this field conditions, he may have been able to pick up some more yards.
He was hit in there that time by our number 32. Is that Caney?
No, Caney is 82.
82. I'm sorry, I'm not at the. As usual, I'm unprepared and don't have my program open. But it's our number 32 on the kickoff team. I'm not sure. We'll get you a name on that just in a second.
The ball is spotted at the looks like about the 27-yard line of Handley. They hand off.